Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of my new Sewing 101 series. I'm Erica with Revival Threadworks, and in this series I'm going to teach you from start to finish all the things that you're going to need to learn to sew or to get started to sew. So the last couple weeks we've been talking about different kinds of sewing machines. Last week we talked about how to thread them, how to change the needle, whatnot. This week we're going to talk about all the tools that you're going to need to get started. So if you're ready, let's go. So when you're first learning to sew, there are not a ton of tools that you're going to need, but there are definitely some tools that you're going to want that are going to make things a little bit easier for you. The first thing that I'm going to say is you're going to want a rotary cutter. So I use this rotary cutter from Grace Company. It's called True Cut. And it has this little curve to it so that when you're cutting, you can rest your thumb on there. I have the regular straight ones. In fact, I have a couple of them and they even have new blades in them. But I find myself reaching for this one every single time because the straight ones, I have to put pressure with my thumb, or not my thumb, my index finger, and then it gets to hurting. So this is the one that I use. So you're going to want to find a good rotary cutter. And you're going to want to make sure that the blade, I think this is a 45mm blade. They do make smaller ones. If you're doing foundation paper piecing, I like the smaller ones, but for regular old fabric cutting, I do like the bigger blade. So you're going to want a blade. Next thing you're going to want is a couple of rulers. Now I have a whole drawer, and I'm talking literally a whole drawer of every fancy ruler that you can think of for every little thing that you can think of. I have probably used 25% of those rulers. They literally sit in a drawer. I bought them because, oh, I'm going to use them. I'm going to need that. And I don't actually use them. So these are the two rulers that I use all the time. This right here is just a plain old 3-inch by 18-inch Omnigrid ruler. I literally use this every single time I sew. I just put my rotary cutter right up against it. It works beautifully. This is super handy. Now I do have a bigger one because like if I'm cutting fabric straight from the bolt is about 22 inches. So this ruler is 6 inches by 24 inches, or excuse me, 6.5 inches by 24 inches. It's quite large, but I find that it's super duper useful for all kinds of reasons. Now you're probably wondering what all these little magnets are for. I ended up spending a lot of money on a set of cutting tools and a cutting mat from a company called Sew Tights. So these are strong magnets, and you have a magnetic cutting board, which this isn't, or cutting mat. And then these magnets here are supposed to keep your fabric from shifting. So they attach to the cutting mat and whatever. Anyway, I found that either the magnets aren't strong enough or my hand just pushes too much, and I just find that the fabric still shifts the way that it did before. So I don't use it for the magnets. I guess I've kind of kept them on there just because, you know, why not? They're on there. So I do not recommend an expensive ruler. Like I said, this is 6.5 by 24 inches or 6 by 24. Any kind of 6 by 24 ruler will do. So do not worry about having to buy a Sew Tights ruler. If you want one and it works for you, fabulous. I think that there are thousands of people that love them. For me personally, I didn't love it. So 6 by 24 or 6.5 by 24 inch ruler, and then 3-inch by 18-inch ruler, along with a rotary cutter. Now the next thing that you're going to want is a cutting mat. Now my cutting mat here is about 60 inches by 36 inches, and that's because I have a huge table and I do all kinds of stuff on it. You do not need a mat this big to get started, so I would recommend maybe a 2x3 should be big enough to do any project. And you want a self-healing cutting mat because when I cut into this, it kind of repairs itself. So you want to have a mat that's a good quality self-healing cutting mat. So definitely want a cutting mat. So rulers, cutter, cutting mat. Next thing that you're going to want is a very good pair of scissors. So I find that these particular scissors, these are made by Ginger. Again, they're a little bit pricey. I think they're about $25 for a pair. You just want a really good pair of fabric scissors. Now, I like these because if you can see, they have this curve, and this curve just helps me get in there and do all kinds of things. It's also got a little curve to the tip. I find that I use these for literally everything. I use them for sewing, for embroidery, for quilting, for bag making, for everything. So getting yourself a good pair of, I'm going to say universal scissors, or scissors that you can use for multiple different purposes, I would definitely recommend that. One thing that I want to caution you, do not cut anything but fabric with these. Don't cut paper, don't cut tape, don't cut whatever. Just make sure that you keep them strictly for fabric, and they will stay sharp a lot longer than if you use them for other purposes. Now the next thing that I'm going to recommend is either pins or clips. Now if you grew up watching someone sew, you probably saw them use pins. If you have watched more modern quilters or modern sewists, you're probably going to see clips. So I have them both, and here's what I use them for. So I have found that when I'm sewing two regular old pieces of fabric together, so two pieces of cotton or knit or whatever, I tend to use the pins. I think that they just kind of get right up in there, do what I need them to do. But when I'm working with thicker materials, like when I make bags and stuff, there's a layer of foam in between and they get really thick. So I find that these clips are absolutely wonderful for doing stuff like that. So you don't have to buy both. If you were going to buy just one or the other, I'd probably still recommend pins. But if you can get both, go ahead and get both, and you'll find that you use them for different purposes all the time. The next thing that you're going to want is a tried and true seam ripper. A seam ripper is not a sign of failure. A seam ripper is a sign of learning. You're learning. You did something that you shouldn't have, or that didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to, and you're just going to unpick it and make it look better the next time. So a seam ripper, again, not a sign of failure. It is just a sign of learning. So you're going to want a good seam ripper. The next thing that I use a lot is a stiletto. So this one is by Annie. It's actually from the byannie.com company, and it has a little thing right here for smoothing things, and it's a stiletto. And because I tend to use my foot pedal instead of the on-off button on my machine, it frees up both of my hands. For a long time, when I was sewing, I would use the on-off button. So that way, if I needed to stop the machine, I literally had to go up there and hit the off button. But now that I use the foot pedal, my foot controls that. And if I need to stop it, I stop it with my foot, and I have both of my hands in there. So the stiletto comes in super duper handy for holding, like if you're, like, let's just say the needle's right here and you need to hold something over. I use this with binding quite a bit, and you have to hold that fabric. So you're going to use that stiletto to hold that fabric to make sure that your fingers don't get caught up in the needle. So the stiletto can be useful for lots and lots of things. I also use it when I'm making like straps and stuff, and I can, talk about that another time, but I use this for lots and lots of things. Now you can get the, by Annie brand, or you can get any brand. You just want a stiletto. The next thing that I'm going to recommend is some sort of marking device. Now, I've got a couple of different ones here just so that you can see that there's a variety of ways that you can mark your fabric. But you're going to want to be able to mark your fabric at some point, maybe not the very first thing you make, maybe even not the third thing that you make, but you're going to want a way to mark your fabric. So all I have here is just straight up a regular old pin. I mean, you can use a pin, but you got to make sure that it's on the back of the fabric and that you're not going to see it when your project is finished, because pins don't always wash out. So I got a regular old pin. And then I have a erasable pin. So this pin here is made, I think, by Clover, and you mark it and it eventually dissolves, I think with the air or with heat or something. Honestly, I don't remember which one this is, but it dissolves itself and disappears. So this is a really good one too. And then this one here is one that I find that I use probably more than any of the other ones. If you notice here, there's a little box. So this is just literally a chalk pen. So you hold this end right here, and it opens up. Hopefully you can see here, it opens up. You take this one out and you can trade it for another color. It actually comes with a whole bunch of colors, but of course I'm down to almost the white now. And then when you want to put it back in, you just pop that open, slide your chalk stick back in, and there you go. It does also come with a little sharpener, but anyway, I find that I use this one probably more than absolutely anything else, because it just makes a great mark, especially if your chalk is sharp. And again, you got all those different colors. And I think this whole set was somewhere in the neighborhood of $10 to $12. So it was very, very cheap. And then the last thing that I'm going to recommend, actually, you know what? Not the last thing. Hold on, I forgot. You're going to want an iron. Totally forgot the iron. I'll get back to that. Well, no, you know what? Let's talk about it right now. So I ended up buying this iron on Amazon. I bought it probably 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, no, about 4 years ago. I wanted a middle of the road quality iron. So it's Sega or whatever. It was about $50. Anyway, it has been through the paces with me. It is a wonderful, wonderful iron. And if you've watched any of my other videos before, you probably know the story that when I was a young mom and wife, I loathed ironing. If there was anything to iron, man, I ran the other way. I hated it. But now with my fabric and with my sewing, especially if I'm opening up a fat quarter bundle that I need to iron all the pieces, it is such a stress reliever for me. So now I love to iron. Don't tell my husband. Anyway, iron. And then the last thing that you're going to need, actually now the last thing, is a tailor's clapper. So it's all it is literally a block of wood. It has a little way that you can grip it right here. And I have had this thing for quite a while, and I've used it here and there, but with the Christmas quilt sew along part that we'll be releasing next week, I found how important using a tailor's clapper is. What a tailor's clapper does is, let's just say you have some small pieces and you iron them nice and straight. Well, as that fabric cools, it's going to pop up. If you use a tailor's clapper while the fabric is still hot and you just place it right there. So let's just say this is your fabric, okay? So we press it nice and flat, and this side keeps curling up and this side keeps curling up. Once you press it, just stick that right over the top of it and just go about your way and do all your other things. And then when you come back, that piece is going to be nice and flat, because the steam or the moisture or whatever it was, the heat dissipates into that wood and gets your fabric nice and flat. So that is my last and final tool. Now this list of tools is absolutely not exhaustive. This is just some minimum basics that I recommend to get started, because you're going to need lots of little things to make your sewing journey just a little bit easier. So if you go ahead and gather these tools before you get started, then you're going to pretty much have what you need when you're ready to go with the fabric. Now, again, this list is not exhaustive. I'm going to go ahead and put in the description down below links to all these products. But again, you don't have to buy the ones that I bought. You don't have, again, this one was expensive. This one was more expensive. You don't have to go with the expensive kind. Just get the ones that are comfortable for you, that are within your budget, but that still check that box of getting that supply. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you learned something. I hope that I was able to give you a really nice starter list of tools that you're going to want to have. Now, a year down the road, you're probably going to need a whole lot more tools, because you're going to grow your skills and you're going to need, a special ruler for this or a special something for that. And that's totally okay. The tools that I talked about today are literally just the beginner basic tools that I think you're going to want and you're going to want to have next to you when you get started sewing. So I know these last couple weeks have been a little bit boring when we're talking all the stuff about the machines and all the stuff about the threading and all that other stuff and the tools. But next week, we're actually going to start sewing. So we're going to start playing with fabric a little bit. We're going to learn about different types of fabric. We're going to learn how you want to put it through your machine, how you want to put the pieces together, and just some fundamentals about sewing. We're actually going to get to the fun part next week. So anyhow, if you liked this video or if you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let me know where you are in your sewing journey. Let me know what things you want to learn next. Those things are super helpful for me so that I can make videos that are helpful for you. Anyhow, I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.